Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 21st. You have this convention card and this caution card. So, yes, I would definitely be careful of getting stuck in conventional thinking. We're in a very bad time for conventional thinking. The convention is just like the way things have always been done, right? We are in a very new time where I think we have to innovate, especially because of Pluto and Aquarius and wants us to do new things, wants us to like explore new ideas and new directions and all that other good stuff. And so if we do that, we'll be very successful. So I would just stay open to all ways of doing things and, kind of like see what happens, right? The other thing is that this caution card, there's like a bunch of animals running to this lady, and it can say that you have to be careful of like people, just in in general. It's like maybe it's kind of like one of those cards where I feel like sometimes it's basically saying that people want a lot of your time, or people maybe want a lot of your attention, and you only have so much time and attention to give. So I would be protective of your energy this week, and only give as much as you can, right? And don't overgive in anything, because you'll probably burn yourself out. In the area of your current general energies, you have the Hermit, the Three of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. Some of you definitely, it is weird. I will say this, every once in a while I do readings, and obviously before I start, I kind of feel like I know how things are gonna go. And this week, like, I didn't expect there to be really anything about like introspective energy or behind the scenes energy necessarily, or anything like that. Like, yeah, we have a Mercury retrograde, sure, that can be very introspective and things like that. But we have this new moon on the 24th in Leo, and it's very positive, I think. And but again, Leo is like more about shining, so to me I feel like the new moon should be making people more shine. And I don't know, it's just kind of like the opposite is happening this week, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think this means that this week is going to be a bad week or anything, but definitely something to think about. You have the Hermit. The Hermit is about being in hermit mode. Now, one thing I will say is the Hermit says, like, it's time for you to claim something, which I feel like I've been saying to you for weeks. And, he's earned something. Maybe that's what I've been trying to get through your head for the past couple weeks, at least, Cancer, is that you have earned the right to, like, claim something, whatever it is. And, but you have to do it. I always think of the Hermit as, like, needing to come down from the mountain. He's at the top of this mountain. He's shining his inner light, but he's alone. He's not in the real world, right? And I've probably said this to you before, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but we have the South Node in Virgo, and South Node in Virgo, people who are born with like South Node in Virgo, like chances are in a past life that they escaped to the top of the mountain because something hurt them in their life, and they never came down from the mountain. So they kind of took their pain out on the world by hiding what makes them special, if that makes sense. Like they hid their gift from the world because they were hurt by like a person or something like that. Like that can be like part of the karma, right? So people with like South Node and Virgo, they need to stay in the world. They need to learn that just because one person hurts you or one situation hurts you doesn't mean everybody deserves to be punished. And that's kind of like part of it, right? And so, like I said, we have the South Node in Virgo right now, and so I don't know, it's like maybe collectively people are feeling this way, like, oh, I'm gonna hide my gift or something. But I think it's your time to shine, Cancer. And then you have the Three Cups, which is like other people, right? But there are only 3 people here. There aren't like 900 people like there are on this card, right? So I feel like this first row is saying it's not about hiding from the world. It's about making sure that your gift, whatever that gift is, your gift could be your attention. It could be your time. It could be effort that you give to people, whatever the energy is, right? I think you need to say, I don't have to like hold back from everyone. I just maybe have to hold back from some people. Some people don't deserve my time. Some people don't deserve my attention, and that's okay. But these people right here that support me, that make me feel uplifted, that make me feel loved, those people can get my attention. Those people can get my love. And I feel like maybe some of you are making that decision this week. Same thing in love. Because you have the Knight of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups in this reading as well. For those of you that want love, definitely could be attracting love. I feel like you are attracting a Hermit. I feel like you are attracting someone who might be a little bit of a homebody here as well. So I don't know. It just popping into my head, right? But I feel like same thing in love. It's like you could be deciding like maybe these past people didn't deserve me, but there are people who maybe do, and you have to believe that if you want love, right? And you have to believe that there are people who will give just as much as you do in a connection. And this first row is kind of saying that to me. It's like it's more talking about your beliefs. And but again, this doesn't have to just be love, Cancer. So I want to make that a point. Like this could be your work, your business. It could be the energy you give to people in your career. All that stuff. So I think a lot of you are kind of like balancing those energies out this week. I think this is a good thing for sure. Again, it's definitely like a deep work type of reading, that first part of this first row. But like I said, I think it's good. With the Hermit, you have the Hangman. Yeah, like needing to see the new perspective. I think we're getting a little bit bashed over the head with new perspectives at this time because we have Uranus and Gemini. It's like, it's not even like drinking water out of a fire hose. It's like drinking water out of a like a water tornado is what we're doing. It's like Uranus and Gemini is like, look at all these other things these other perspectives that exist in the world. It's a little bit overwhelming, right? And it's like all of a sudden with Uranus and Gemini, where it's like we're seeing the opposite of things. And I don't know. I think it's like a little bit jarring, right? But it's good. I think we're gaining perspective. With the Three of Cups, you have the Six of Pentacles. What do you know? Equal give and take. But he is giving to the person that gives back to him, right? I mean, you cannot make this up. Like, you couldn't ask for a more appropriate card based off of everything I said on that first row. So, really, I have nothing to add to that. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Three of Wands. Yes. The Three of Wands kind of says, for you to attract something really good into your life, that you're going to have to push yourself outside your comfort zone. You're going to have to, go on an adventure. It's like, especially if you're saying like, oh, I can't find the type of person I'm looking for or whatever. This could say, well, you're just not looking in the right places, or you're looking where you've always been looking. If you want something exceptional, you have to do exceptional things, right? That's why I always tell people, it's like so much better like meet a person like doing things instead of like Tinder. It's like, yeah, like number one, I think everybody should be on Tinder if you want love, because if you're not using something that the universe has provided you, then, the universe is like, oh, they don't want love because they're not using everything I've given them to potentially attract love, right? But, again, I understand that, the problem with Tinder is you're basically attracting a person who just sits on the toilet going like this with their thumb, swiping. Right? So, again, I think it's much better to meet a person in public doing things. Go join a class, go do something. Three of Wands says get out into the world. Or it says you're going to find something, much, much better on the other side of a comfort zone. So go do that. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Observer card and this Thinker card. Pisces had something very similar about observing their thoughts, and it just seems to be a good time to observe your thoughts. We have this new moon in Leo. We have Mercury retrograde in Leo as well. And so what I would say is that, I don't know, maybe there's something about thoughts because Mercury is there and, in Leo. And I think that making sure that you're having, only focusing on the positive, focusing on exactly what you want with the Seven of Cups coming up in your next row, that's going to be very important for you at this time. You have the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Five of Swords. A little bit of a risk, I think, that you're taking for love, for those of you that want it, with that Five of Swords. But, the Ace of Cups can be a big offer. I also kind of feel like this is saying you need to go right for something. I am pretty sure I've said this to you before, Cancer. It's almost like you need to stop putting certain rules in front of what you want. It's like you have the Ace of Cups to the Seven of Cups. It's like, this is what you want. The Seven of Cups is all the restrictions that you're putting on something. It's like, again, I don't really have any good examples, but it's like, a lot of people say like, oh, I'll go do this when. I'll start that business when my kids go back to school. I'll start that thing when my husband leaves, or whatever it is, right? And the Ace of Cups is saying like, no, now. I feel like this is saying now. Like, you might be saying to yourself, I'll do this when the Mercury retrograde is over, and like I feel like this is saying like, no, you'll do it now. You should get started now. Stop putting restrictions in front of it. And you might be saying, well, it's a Mercury retrograde. I shouldn't start it now. But, I kind of feel like this is something that you've been saying this about, like, for the past 20 retrogrades. So this is probably something that you've already thought about doing. whatever this is. So you did start it before retrograde is what I'm getting at. And so I don't know, whatever this thing is, I think you need to start pouring energy into it. Ace of Cups doesn't have to be love. It can just be you accepting the cup. The cup is your heart. Or, the whole card can just represent heart-based energy and doing things that cause you to overflow. And it can just say, go do the thing. You don't have to put these requirements in front of it. You have the Queen of Swords. This Mercury retrograde does seem very good for clarity. And so the Queen of Swords is a great card for clarity. She only has clouds halfway up her body. And it says that she's seeing things clearly for the first time. So I do feel that for you, Cancer, that you could be getting a lot of clarity on things in life. Or you could just be seeing certain things more clearly, which I do feel will be very good for you with the Queen of Swords. That's really all I get there. Next, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, I mean, as always, like some sort of risk that you're going to have to take here, Cancer, to put yourself out there or to, do things in a bigger way. I think that's going to be important. I also get something about fun for some reason. I don't know. That's like a weird message to get on the Five of Swords, but it's like maybe you're taking the risk of like having fun, needing to let loose, right? I feel like you need to let loose in some way. This could be like allowing yourself to have fun, doing something nice for yourself. That's kind of a weird message to get on this card, but I don't know. I just feel like the way that this guy here is dressed on the card, like I feel like he's getting ready to party. I don't know. That's just how I feel, Cancer. And, that's kind of like the message I get. Again, I read intuitively, so there you go. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, it could be communication, which I'm pretty sure you've been getting for weeks. So again, if you're looking for love, this could be something that starts as communication. The other thing is that the Eight of Wands is about socializing, and I'm pretty sure that in your July bonus reading, I said this to you, that you could meet a person through socializing. So I would, if that is true, Cancer, then I would definitely go and socialize, because that's probably where you're going to meet a person with the Eight of Wands. I also feel like quick movement here. And again, this new moon is kind of interesting because, again, it's happening during this retrograde, but I kind of feel like this new moon is very positive. Although I do think this could be a little bit of a weird week. Like globally, I think I wouldn't be surprised if something weird happened globally this week. I'll say that. So, whatever. But what I would say is I think, like, personally, that we could make a lot of progress with this new moon. I also think we could get opportunities that really kind of like shine, right? The new moon's happening in Leo, but I think that there's a lot of this like glowy energy where if we accept an opportunity, it could be something that makes us shine or, kind of makes us stand out. So that looks good. With the Queen of Swords, you have the King of Cups. Again, could be another water sign. It could be any sign, general reading. Could also be a Virgo coming in for you here. But I think, if you are looking for love, this could be you being very clear on what you want. Also could be a Scorpio as well. I mean, could be any water sign. Could be any sign. General reading here, Cancer. But, like I said, I think that you could be clear on it. This would also represent getting clear on your emotions. So the King of Cups has very deep emotions, and he is perfectly fine. So, and he, the point of this card is that he's sitting in choppy waters, but he's perfectly fine. So I think like the more control of your emotions you can get this week, the better. Or the more in control that you could be, the better. With the Five of Swords, yes, you have the Star. Yes, the Star is about accomplishing or going and trying to reach the star. It's funny that I said glowy opportunity, and you have the Star, right? The Star is like having a North Star, having that one shining light, that one thing that you want to accomplish. The Hermit has the Star in his lantern. You have the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Cups. It's like, all this together is saying that you just need to go straight for the thing that you want. It's like, stop putting restrictions before what you want, or, whatever you want to call it. It's like, I would just go straight for it, right? And just make it happen is what I would say here with the Star. So, there you go. It's like, I used to work with a person together, like on YouTube. And I remember this person used to drive me nuts because they always used to say like I don't really know how to describe it, but it's like they would be like, I would tell them like, oh, go do this, to go create this video for your channel. But they had it in their mind that they wanted to, they used to be like, well, I'm going to, I want to like stair step my way to success instead of just like leaping to success, right? They would be like, I'll do it in this way. And I used to be like, but you don't have to. I didn't. Look at my channel. I think the results speak for themselves, right? I just leaped. I just jumped straight to the end, to the finish line, right? And it's not even a finish line. I don't know. There's something about that popping into my head, Cancer, where it's like you might be saying like, oh, everybody who is a manager at the place I work, they get this degree, they do this thing, they go and get that thing, and they do this, right? And I feel like this reading is saying like, no, just skip all that. You could skip all this stuff in the middle. It's like same thing in love. It's like sometimes I don't know. It's like I think in love we like get into a connection and we think like I'll go on this date and we'll talk about the weather. I'm gonna pretend that I'm gonna go and I know that at this restaurant. I know I'm just going to order chicken fingers because I'm like an adult 4-year-old, but I'm going to pretend like I'm going to order something else and stare at the menu. Like, why do we even do that? It's like, you know what you're going to order. Do you really need to look at it? Probably not, right? It's just like these weird steps that we go through, right? It's like you could skip all that. I don't know. I feel like you're skipping a bunch of steps here in a good way, Cancer. I hope that makes sense. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, it says, it's okay. Here you go. It's okay to be misunderstood. Perception is not always based on truth. Just be your weird self. Like if you're going on a date and you feel like saying something, just say it. It's like if the person is weirded out by it, probably not your right person, right? So like I feel like this reading is almost asking you to be weird. You have this write a letter. It says, write a letter to your inner child. Yes. Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter in your sign, Cancer. It is a time of the inner child. We have to let loose. We have to be playful. We have to be joyful. We have to, even though we're a 37-year-old male adult, we have to be willing to order chicken fingers. And you know what? If they don't like it, they can suck it, right? They can take a hike. So, there you go, right? If that gives someone the ick, then I don't want to know what doesn't give them the ick, right? So, boom. You have the 7 of Cups, the 9 of Wands, and the 4 of Swords. The 7 of Cups is being spoiled for choice. 7 of Cups is about having a lot of options. Again, I think there's something about options this week and having a lot of options, having a lot of directions that you can move in. There's a lot that you could accomplish this week as well as what I'm feeling. I think, again, this is talking about skipping steps. And it's not like you're skipping steps in a bad way. I want to stress that. It's more like the steps aren't necessary for you, Cancer. It's like, you're meant to do things in a certain way. And, and maybe it's not how everyone else has done it. So, like this card here says, it's okay to be misunderstood. People don't have to understand how you got somewhere. It's not their life, right? They should spend more time focusing on their life. You have the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands says don't give up on something. I definitely get that feeling for you, Cancer. I feel the 9 of Wands for you is talking about perseverance and not giving up on something. I feel it's probably the star. The star is usually like a big goal. It's like a North Star. It is that guiding light, that one thing that you set out to accomplish. And I feel this is saying don't give up. You have the 4 Swords. 4 Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering, and praying and asking for something. I can't even title your videos You've Asked for This anymore because, all your readings basically are saying that there's something in front of you that you've asked for. Maybe it just needs a little bit more grease. Maybe, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? A little bit more oomph. It needs a little bit more of a push, a little bit more of a, kind of like something special. And so I would put like a little bit more into something that you've been asking or praying for, right? With the 7 of Cups, you have the Magician. You've asked for this. You've attracted this, right? The Magician says you've been asking for something and now you can receive it. The Magician also says that you are an energetic match to something, right? It's like if you're a match to something, then you can skip to the end. There's nothing like in the middle that you have to do. It's like you already match something. You already are a perfect match to something. And I'm not even just talking about love. Like, obviously this reading is going to be different for all of you. For some of you, it's love. For some of you, it's money. For some of you, it's everything. Whatever it is, I feel like you already are the right thing. He's pointing to that 4 Cups. So literally 1 cup, it's like he's not accepting that cup into his life because he's been disappointed before. But it's almost like the Magician. He's got his wand pointing this direction, right? Towards the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Cups. He's like saying, if there's communication, you should accept it. Or maybe you need to be the one to communicate here, Cancer. I'm not sure. Take it how it resonates. With the 9 of Wands, here you go. You have the 4 of Wands. How crazy is this? The 9 of Wands, his eyes are kind of looking up to the Ace of Cups. Like he's kind of looking up into the left here, towards this direction. Or I guess it would be his right, if you want to be technical about it. And so it's like he's looking at love, He's looking back on love there. And you have the Four Wands, which is marriage. So I feel like this is saying, like, don't give up on something that you want to commit to. Now, this doesn't have to be marriage if you don't want to get married. It could just be a commitment. Maybe you just want a deep commitment with a person or something like that. But, I feel like this is something really good here, Cancer. With the Four of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, there could be news coming in for you as well, or communication, like we already talked about with that Eight of Wands. The Page of Pentacles, sometimes I just feel is communication, receiving communication or someone communicating with you. So, definitely could be a new person if you're looking for love. Also, I feel that this could be like new work opportunities, especially for those of you that are like skipping the line, skipping over things. There's a great book, Skip the Line, by James Altucher. It's one of my favorite books of all time, right? And so it's almost like that's what you're doing. It's like you're skipping ahead. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have the Scarab Spirit. It says, what appears unusable may still have great value if you look deeper. You have this Moth Spirit. It says, appreciate where you are in your journey instead of wishing it were easier or different. Yes, I think appreciating where you are, of course, would be a good thing with this card for sure. You have the Four Cups, the Death card, and the Judgment card. Again, you're clearly getting something that has disappointed you before. I don't think, if this is love, it's not a past person. This would be like something new, probably a new connection that is much better, So I do feel like there could be a new connection here if you're looking for love. But it could be anything. And I feel like the Four Cups is saying the time is right. I think there's a lot of things that are in alignment is what's popping into my head as well. Like if you've tried to do something before, it doesn't even have to be love. It could be maybe you tried committing to your goal or a business or an idea and it didn't work out. I feel like the universe, it's almost like this is saying alignment to me, which the Four Cups does not represent alignment to me, but it is popping into my head. So I have to say it. And, it's almost like saying to me that the time is right. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Next, you have the Death card. Yeah, I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of Death card energy this week. So, I don't know. Doesn't really surprise me. I kind of feel like it is a transformative week for people. It's a extremely transformative time, just in general. I mean, Pluto in Aquarius is extreme transformation because it's extreme innovation. Uranus in Gemini is extreme genius, electric genius, but also it's like a mad scientist, right? So it's kind of like extreme change, extreme perspective change, the Hangman right here. So, I don't know, a lot of changes. I think people are just dealing with it. You have the Judgment card. Answer the call here, Cancer. It's like you are being called to something, and I feel all you have to do is pick up the phone. I think that's all you have to do here, literally. I think you just have to answer the universe and, take the first step in a direction, and then boom, you will receive what you've been asking for all along. So there you go. Pretty simple. With the Four Cups, you have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands says you're very attractive at this time. Definitely an unconventional path. Again, you have this card. It says, it's okay to be misunderstood. Perception is not always based on the truth. Yes. The Queen of Wands, she marches to the beat of her own drum. She does her own thing. She learns as she goes, right? And so there's nothing to compare her life to. When you live your life like that, people are going to call you crazy. People are going to say, what the hell are you doing? It's your life. It's not their life, right? You need to do your own thing with that card, plain and simple. With the Death card, you have the Hermit again. So this would actually be pretty good because, like I said, I think the Hermit is kind of saying you need to socialize or you need to get out and touch some grass, right? Or something like that. So the good news is you're probably getting out of Hermit mode. With the Judgment card, here you go. You have the Death card. This would be like a major rebirth, having Death card twice with the Judgment card. So a lot of you could be undergoing some sort of like transition or transformation or rebirth in your life. And, that could be very good. This could be something that happens very quickly as well. So there you go. You have this Club card. It says, someone will try to make you do something against your will. No one can make you do anything. Again, it's okay to be misunderstood. Queen of Wands. The Seven of Cups. Don't allow others to cloud your judgment. Queen of Swords. You are clear. You know what to do. That's all you need to know, right? So don't let other people steer your life. You have the Sunrise card. It says, new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. New moon in Leo. You also have this Lion card that says time to act, which it's crazy because I'm pretty sure you've had this card with me like 10 times, the Lion card. And but what I would say here is that this new moon is very good for starting new things. And yes, it's a Mercury retrograde. Yes, I understand that for the Mercury retrograde Nazis that are going to, tell me about it and all this other stuff and tell me how they would never start something during a retrograde. It's like, congratulations, you're stuck, right? If you want to live a stuck life, go for it, right? And if you expect life to be perfect, and because that's why you're not doing things during Mercury retrograde, there you go, perfect, great, good for you, right? But for the rest of you that are smart, then, again, I think it's a great time to start anything new. And will there be mistakes? Yes, but guess what? We learn from mistakes. No one who's ever tried to be perfect has ever gotten anything done, period. So again, Mercury retrograde or not, don't be afraid to get started. You have this face card. It says secret admirer. Definitely, I think either you're the secret admirer or that you have a secret admirer, or you both secretly admire each other. I don't know, but there you go. Definitely could be love. You have this lion. It says time to act, which again, I think you've had this card with me about 100 times. So sure. And also new moon in Leo. I would just go for it, right? You have a sun. It says happiness and well-being. New moon in Leo, right? The more optimistic we can be, the more we can focus on our own life force and vitality at this time, and doing things that make us feel alive and optimistic and like we're glowing, the better, right? So that's basically what I would be focusing on at this time. But looks pretty good here, Cancer. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.